Welcome to the Go Big with Gib podcast, where we talk to professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs about their big wins. Welcome to this episode of Go Big with Gib. Today I've got a good friend of mine here with me, Ben Buckwalter. Ben, how are you today?
I'm great, Gib. Thanks for having me on and thinking of me.
Yeah, Ben, no, I appreciate you coming on. If you could just, I like to start things out by having you just give a brief introduction. Tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Yeah, my name is Ben Buckwalter, located in Dallas, Texas. Founder and CEO of Law Pro Nation, where we service actually personal injury attorneys all over the U.S., help them with their marketing and to obtain more cases.
Yeah, Ben. No, I love that. Let's talk a little bit about Law Pro Nation. So, my firm has been working with you for several years now. We've signed a ton of cases through your system. When did it start, and how have you grown your business over the years?
Sure. So we started nearly 8 years ago. It was actually a little backstory. Had started a marketing agency, as a college dropout. And after I dropped out, I started just like immersing myself in like sales and marketing material. Started a marketing agency. Was kind of, being a jack of all trades at first, or attempting to be, going after every type of niche and industry. Went to a marketing conference to go accept an award. Met a personal injury attorney there who asked if I had done it before in the legal space. And I said no, but we could give it a shot. Tried it, went well. And the rest is kind of history. So this is about 8 years ago. So niched down on lawyers at first. And then really got attracted to the personal injury side of things because I felt like it kind of mirrored like what I was going through, right? Like dropping out of college and wanted to kind of find a route I could go where there was like no cap on my income, right? And so sales and marketing and learning all that became attractive to me. Well, with personal injury, that became attractive to me as an area of law to service when I saw like, hey, there's also no cap, on the income. It's really how hard do people want to work? You know what I mean? How much do they want to invest? And there's really no ceiling for it. And so that, that was attractive to me. So just started diving in, right away, started going well, getting a lot of different firms and having some success early on. And then what really started, helping us blow up and scale is when early on, or not really early on, I would say probably about a couple years in, it took at first for me to really be able to just like completely step away. You know what I mean? From things that were not my area of expertise, and to really start being willing to hire and delegate, any tasks that didn't have to do with me focusing on how to grow Law Pro and take it to the next level. So I think that, there's a lesson in that because I know it took me even a little bit longer than it really should have to completely like delegate tasks. And that's something that I see with a lot of people. Not just in this industry, but in general with so many type of businesses. It can be really hard when you're that invested to step away and be willing to hire other people and just, completely trust them. So that's really how we started scaling quickly. And then just finding unique edges that separate us from other people in the industry, you know what I mean? Like getting our own production studio so that we can, crank out efficient, quickly and efficiently crank out content. You know what I mean, that we can run and keep fresh for all of our firms to make sure they're getting the most amount of leads and the best quality leads in cases. And, just different stuff like that to try and separate us. And we've always made sure that we treat every firm that comes on with us like a new member of the family. The goal is for them to be with us for years. So just giving them like, the tip top customer service at all times and making sure we're there to grow together. So I would say those would be the biggest things that would contribute to our growth and how we are continuing to grow with,
Yeah. So Ben, without giving away any of the proprietary information, can you speak in general terms about how you're getting these cases and tell me a little bit about the marketing and sales side of things and how that works?
Sure. So we generate the cases for our firms by running, content on social media, like creating like custom ads and stuff like that for our firms right in our production studio. And so then basically we're targeting on social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, right? The four main social media platforms and also, on Google as well too. Pretty much anything that somebody needs us to do for them, we can help with, right? And so then we really focus on, attraction-based marketing and then also direct response marketing, right? So like that, the content that we create and we run on these social media platforms, it's meant to get that, that prospect, that lead, that injured victim, for them to react right away, right? And to instantly, see this ad, opt into this ad, fill out all of their information, and then quickly, capture that lead, and then immediately start following up with them with other, systems that we set up for the firms that we start with, such as, texts, emails, live transfers, different stuff like that. But what we've noticed, not just with other marketing agencies, but just with most law firms in general, is it's not always that they won't pay for advertisement, but a lot of the stuff they're paying for, even like, it's not direct response, right? Like they might run an ad on social media that looks really pretty, but there's no call to action. There's nothing that gets people to act now. And so it can be good for branding, but branding's not just enough, right? Because branding's a long-term game. There's, everybody out there you're competing with. So we also focus on making ads, that make people take action right away. And I would say that's a big thing that separates us in obtaining, the leads for our firms.
Yeah. So does your experience and background with ClickFunnels play any role in terms of how this works?
It definitely, it was good early on for learning, some different marketing stuff. And, what people learn in there, like them teaching, how to build funnels and all of that, I would say it helped early on. But you also have to learn, how to have your own spin on everything and try and find your own lucrative edge and find that, as ClickFunnels would say, that blue ocean instead of that red ocean, where everybody is already doing something. So we're just always trying to find ways to stand out and to help our firm stand out as well to get more traffic.
Yeah, one of the things I love about working with Law Pro Nation is that it's kind of like, I think of it like a faucet, like a water faucet, like I can give you a call and say, hey, Ben, we really need to load up on new cases, turn on the faucet. And so you turn on the faucet and boom, now we're drinking from the fire hose, we're getting a bunch of calls. Things happen relatively quickly. Like, you turn it on, we quickly get a bunch of activity, and then we can always turn it off when we need to. It's not like the branding campaigns that you do on TV and billboards and buses.
Right, exactly. All of those, they have their place. It's not that they're not effective. It's not that SEO is not effective, but you do need to be prepared to have quite an upfront investment. And you have to be very patient because it can take months and months, before you're having anything come in. And so that's why we love focusing on, getting people those fast results, really quickly.
So talking a little bit about the structure of your business, are you at a place now, Ben, where you can be away from the business for multiple weeks or even months and still have the business function? What is your structure like now in terms of, your ability to step in and out as you see fit?
Yes. And that's, we just went in Greece, Turkey, and yeah, of course, everything, not only ran well, but, we're putting in new clients, of course, left and right while there. And so that's, it's definitely at the point now where I can step away. Like, I like working. I like being involved. I like seeing how things grow. So it's like, even though you can step away, it can be hard to turn your mind completely off, even if you can physically step away and it, right? But yes, thankfully, I have gotten to that point now and have that structure, where there's somebody for every area of the company. If something needs addressed, then somebody knows to address it and how to address it very quickly. And so yeah, it took time to get to that point, but I am at the point now where I can step off, take some time back, turn my mind off, and then also, start thinking of new ways to scale the business and just to put my focus on that. It wasn't like that, for a while, but it got to that point now after just, years of just finding out what can we delegate? What can we automate? Who would be able to do this?
So, Ben, one thing I didn't ask you earlier was, how old are you?
31.
31. So, and you told me that Law Pro started about 8 years ago. Have you done other business ventures as well in addition to Law Pro?
Yeah. And also, areas of like investing, I'm really into crypto. So I have like a crypto masterclass, that where I teach everybody how to invest into crypto. And so yeah, there's been a lot of other things in between.
Yeah, I mean, I know you well, Ben, and I know how successful you've been in all the different things that you've done. I mean, you've had, multiple 7 to 8 figure businesses that you've run over the years, and at 31 years old, that's very, very impressive. Let's talk a little bit about crypto. So when did you get into it, and what about it attracted you?
Sure. So I got into crypto in like 2020. It was attractive to me just because, I saw people, talking about how they had bought like, you see the stories buying Bitcoin early on, and, they bought like whatever, $500 worth of Bitcoin, and now they're multi-millionaires in crypto. And I'm like, wow. Right. So that was just interesting to me. I got in. What happened though is I had very bad luck early on, right? Because I had no idea what I was doing. And so I actually, what's different about my journey through crypto is, I wasn't one of those people that like bought Bitcoin super early, right? Like I got in 2020. I didn't buy like Bitcoin early or ETH early or any of the top, 100 market cap coins. I didn't invest into any of those early on. The way that I accumulated my crypto and built, what I consider a pretty strong portfolio in a short amount of time was through trading meme coins. When I first got into crypto, I was actually buying meme coins before I'd ever even bought any Bitcoin at all, right? That was actually like the first thing I started learning about, which is very opposite because most people don't know anything about crypto hardly at all. You know what I mean? We still haven't even reached mass adoption. But the people that do know stuff about crypto, there's a very small group of those people that understand like meme coins and the stuff that I got into. And so it was a bit backwards that's what I started like learning more about first. I knew somebody that had bought a meme coin early on. They bought Sheep actually, when that was still early. They had said they made quite a bit of money off of it. I was like, well, what's the returns? Like you like doubled your money on it, whatever. And they're like, no, like I made like 35 times my investment back in a few months. And I was like, what? That's crazy, right? And so I was like, I need to check that out. So what happened is, I started learning then how to buy these really low market cap coins. But what I did is I just went and bought, thousands of dollars of the first coin that I saw that was a meme coin that launched. And I remember within like hours, it was gone. You know what I mean? Pretty much all drained. And so that was kind of my start with it. Losing a bunch of money at first because I just saw what other people had made and I had no strategy. And so then that's when everything started changing. So I had to lose quite a bit at first, and then which made myself, really want to like get this and understand it after having those losses, then started finding some coins early on after proper research and had several 100, 200, 300x returns on my investment.
This episode of Go Big with Gib is brought to you by Irons Equity. At Irons Equity, we specialize in helping investors like you create long-term generational wealth and save money on taxes through recession-resistant real estate investments that create passive income for you and your family. If you want to secure your financial future, go to investwithgib.com to schedule a 30-minute introductory meeting with me, Gib Irons. Again, that's investwithgib.com.
Yeah, I mean, so just to give us some sort of scale, like, are you comfortable saying like how much you've grown your Bitcoin portfolio to, or giving us some sort of a metric?
Yeah, so I would say that overall at the beginning, after losing money and then investing more, I probably invested like, I would say like 50 to maybe almost like, around 6 figures, like into meme coins at the beginning, some of that through trial and error, and then just finding other coins and investing in, and grew to, an 8-figure plus portfolio, you know what I mean, at the height of the last market. And so now we're kind of bracing up for the next bull run. You know what I mean? Market's been dipping over the past couple of days. Obviously what's going on with stocks and everything is a direct reflection of what's going on with Bitcoin and the crypto market. But this is the time when the market crashes and things go down to start looking for meme coins too to buy that can potentially go 100, 200x in the same time Bitcoin goes 2x, 3x from here,
Yeah. So I heard that President Trump made a speech recently at some sort of Bitcoin conference. I don't really know much about this, but but I did read about that, and that he was talking about the U.S. becoming, really active in the Bitcoin space. Like, how would that affect things in terms of Bitcoin value?
Yeah, it's very bullish, and history will probably repeat itself. I think that the stock market crashing is a big reason that crypto is having a pretty heavy dip over the past few days. But it's also people are on the sidelines waiting to see, are we going to have a new Republican president, or is it going to be Democrat? I think most people don't really know right now. It's been a wild year just with everything going on with the election, and so I think that people are kind of waiting on the sidelines. But if we elect a Republican again, that's you, and with Trump being bullish on Bitcoin and wanting the U.S. to dominate it, then yeah, I think it's going to soar.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So I know one time we got together for dinner. We were talking a little bit, and I mean, you had some amazing success on social media in the past, right? Didn't you have like over 1 million followers on Facebook?
Early on, I did, yeah.
Did that come into your mind in terms of like, it just seems like you're the kind of guy that I don't know that you were ever looking for a W-2 job where you're just going to have a cap on your salary.
They all kind of go hand in hand. It's funny you mentioned that, you know what I mean? Because it was something else again it is marketing, right? Because you're like looking at stuff and looking at, what can I try and to imitate or model after to try and get attention and views, right? So it all goes kind of hand in hand. So, I mean, yeah, it's funny you say that, because like my goal, like they would always say, like, what do you want to do growing up? And I'd be like, figure out a way to not have to have a job, right? It's totally funny. That's just always what I, was attracted to, right? Because it's like, it's one thing to make a lot of money, but most people, they either have a lot of money and no time, or a lot of time and no money, right? It's hard to find both.
Sure. Ben, did you grow up around St. Louis? I know we met up in St. Louis one time.
Yeah, small town, Illinois, on the other side of the border, like 2 hours from St. Louis. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember meeting out there, and we shot a couple of videos, which we now use as part of my campaign.
Those are some of the best tacos I've had in a while.
Yeah, no, that was great. So Ben, at this point now, what does the structure of Law Pro Nation look like? I mean, do you have like a brick and mortar
office, like here locally, right? But Law Pro, our team is scattered all over the nation. So fortunately, those people can work remote.
But you do have a brick and mortar office is it in Dallas?
Yeah, in Dallas, yeah.
Talk to me about how have you over the years, grown to having so many different law firms?
Just finding what ads work in the marketplace, finding the pain points that need to be served at these firms, you know what I mean? Like just like over time, like figuring it out, and like getting to the point where we can look at something and say, okay, they need help with this could be improved, right? And those are things you all just learn together, over time. But just being willing to scale, right? And so like seeing something that works, like, okay, this ad is working, and this firm in this state's doing really well. Let's figure out what type of ads we need to run in this state, right? Because the ads we run in North Carolina might not perform as well as ads that we run in California. You know what I mean? Depending on the demographic, all of that, right? So just learning all of that and knowing how to scale, but then being like willing to scale, like being willing to spend the money on advertising, being willing to spend more money to start ramping everything up. Because it's a lot of people, they're kind of almost like afraid to scale, right? Like they're fine where they're at and they're comfortable. And it's like every time you scale anything or take it to the next level, you're definitely like automatically taking a bit of risk too, right? Inherently. So I feel like just being willing to like, again, keep hiring people, knowing that, sometimes you're going to hire the right person right away, or sometimes maybe you hire someone and they're not meant for that certain task and you got to kind of change gears again. But yeah, just being willing to scale and doing the things it takes to go to the next level and taking risks, I would say.
As a business owner, how do you decide what is a risk that you're willing to take?
Definitely based off past experiences now, but I feel like if you're gonna take a decent amount of risks, like I've always been willing to take risks, and I think sometimes you're just gonna end up taking even bad risks because they do seem good in that moment, right? I think that's why it's such a risk, right? Because there's definitely a chance that you can try something and it's supposed to go well and it goes the complete opposite route. So that's going to happen. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to have to keep putting out fires. But I would say just like, if I think something can move the needle forward and, based off past experiences, I don't think there's any red flags to watch out for, I'm probably going to take that risk. You know what I mean? Because I'm just more of a risk taker, gambler. You know what I mean? All of that. And that goes hand in hand with crypto too. You have to have some type of risk tolerance to play with meme coins, right?
Yeah, it's interesting because I think a lot of people are very afraid of risk. One thing that I've noticed talking to a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs is that the most successful ones were willing to take a lot of risk. It seems like you have a pretty high risk tolerance and that it's really worked out well for you. Taking those educated risk has paid big dividends for you.
Absolutely. And so that's why I'll always continue to take risks too, right? And again, learning every day, I'm going to take more risks that don't work out, but that's just part of it, right? Being a risk taker.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So Ben, for people that have heard the podcast today that want to reach out to you, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Sure. So if you're reaching out, as a law firm, email ben@lawpronation.com. is the best way to reach out. If you're reaching out for anything that has to do, with crypto or trying to learn crypto, that would be through my personal email, ben@benbuckwalter.com, or you can go to my Ben Buckwalter website and opt in on there, if you're looking to learn anything as far as that with crypto. And for social medias, Ben Buckwalter across all social medias, and then Law Pro Nation across all social media as well.
And Ben, just one other question. Do you have your own mastermind to teach people how to buy and sell cryptocurrency?
Yeah. And it's not, sometimes we'll open it and close it depending on what all I've got going on. But like I said, if they go on my website, you can go to the crypto section on there and opt in, and we can have a phone call and see if it's something that makes sense for someone that's looking to learn crypto. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Ben, look, it's always good to catch up with you, man. I appreciate what you've done for me, and I just really value the relationship. So, man, it's good to see you. I appreciate you coming on the show today.
You too, man. I really appreciate our relationship as well, and excited for continued success to come. Thanks for having me on here, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, brother. Thank you, man. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Go Big with Gib. If you haven't already, go follow us on social media @GibIrons. We'll see you next time.